Hi, and welcome back to the Clinician Spotlight. My name is Tony Maritato, and joining me in just a moment is Dr. Michael Hyland. Dr. Hyland is a doctor of physical therapy, and he specializes in treating individuals 65 years and older who are experiencing symptoms related to Parkinson's disease. Dr. Hyland's doing some really cool stuff with various programs related to Parkinson's. So let me see if I can get him to join me on the show, and we'll find out what kind of stuff he's doing.
All right.
So, Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. I like to start these interviews first with getting to know the person a little bit and what got you interested in becoming a physical therapist in the first place.
Yeah. I would say that in my case, and first of all, thank you for having me on today,
Yeah, of
Tony.
course.
But yeah, in answer to your question, my journey into physical therapy wasn't a traditional one, in my opinion, because a lot of folks that I went to school with have known, clinicians that were out before me and since got exposure to physical therapy either through being involved in sports, getting some treatment as a PT, or maybe they worked as an aide and then really wanted to be a PT after they did that, had the exposure to that. Actually, when I got into college, I really wasn't sure where I wanted to go with things because I loved science and biology, and I'm kind of a nerd in that sense, but I didn't really. And my parents are in a healthcare background. My mom and dad, my mom's an MD, my dad's and they're both retired. My mom's an MD, my dad's a dentist. I didn't really want to go either of those routes. So I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to do healthcare, but I don't really want to, go to school for 20 years, And so I was at a crossroads a little bit there, but I was already in the right kind of science background. So around the time I was in my junior year of college, my dad kind of encouraged me again to look into physical therapy because he had a friend who was a PT that he went to school with. They graduated together sometime, like I guess he would have been in the PT school in like the 70s or 60s, rather late 60s, early 70s. And so anyway, I talked to his friend Joe and was kind of interested, but then I just decided from there just to observe kind of what therapy is about. So I approached a local hospital where I was living, and the director of physical therapy there said, "Yeah, sure, let's come talk." And she essentially kind of interviewed me a little bit. In the beginning, it was like, "So, why do you think you're interested in this?" And I said, "Well, honestly, I don't know what I don't know yet. I kind of want to just." I know I want to help people, but I don't exactly know how, but I'd love to learn more about PT and what you all do. Of course, that was the hospital environment, and it was acute care, different world than a lot of our ortho people are doing. But she basically kind of felt me out and decided, hey, I think you're a good candidate to stick around a little bit. So she basically let me be a volunteer aide. That's what she did.
Nice.
So it was really an invaluable experience, actually,
Sure.
because so the hospital, long story, it's a long story to go back to like why I was living where I was living, but I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, and went to college in Mobile, Alabama. So that's where I was at the time. And so the hospital there that I was at was called University of South Alabama Medical Center, which is a level 1 trauma center, and it's a teaching hospital. So
Wow.
it was there was some raw stuff. I mean, it was really, there was a burn unit. They had, cardiac ICU, all kind of complex patients. And I basically got to be involved in helping with all those kind of patients. And I was still like 17, 18 years old, turning people over, cleaning up poop, whatever you want to, everything. And helping people with, traditional PT stuff, getting them out of bed, ambulating and all that stuff. So, and they even did some outpatient there as well, which was kind of cool. But that's kind of where my exposure was at first. So when I got into school, I was like, I think I could do this when I get out. I kind of love this environment. I love the environment, and the therapists are just awesome people. So I did ultimately get into school. And then, of course, my path changed a little bit once I got out of school. But I did initially work in acute care for a little while before I decided I didn't want to stick around with that for much longer. So
Yeah, and now you're a private practice owner, you own your own business, and you have such a unique model in the way you deliver care, because I think everybody who's watching this video is familiar with traditional home health physical therapy, usually paid for by Medicare Part A benefits. What you're doing right now is outpatient therapy delivered in the home. So it's actually a Medicare Part B benefit, and
Right.
you're specializing in the treatment of Parkinson's disease. So tell us a little bit about that. How does that work? How does somebody who needs your services get connected with you? And, it's a covered service by Medicare, but what are some of the things that you're doing with patients in the home?
Well, essentially, as far as our Parkinson's patients specifically, in our particular case, we're doing LSVT big for Parkinson's disease. And right now it's just physical therapy. Actually, I take it back. I have a contract SLP that is offering the LSVT loud as well on a limited basis. But so what we do in that case is we're just delivering that protocol of treatment in the home versus in an outpatient clinic. So, but the beauty of that is just similarly to home health in terms of quality of care, I don't really feel like there's much difference because I was a home health therapist as well as an outpatient therapist. So, I check vital signs on a fairly regular basis. We assess balance, lower body strength. We can assess basically their safety with activities of daily living right there in the home because we're in their home environment. So we can observe them in their actual bathroom or bedroom or kitchen, wherever. And also home safety is important. So we can assess that at the same time. And,
It's all right.
I have a little one trying to get in.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, this is a life, right?
it is.
We have
So,
4 kids.
tell me,
we're
you're
busy.
in the state of Oklahoma. What is the
Yes.
service area that you can provide services to?
So specifically, we are covering areas in the Tulsa metro area. So that's where we're in Tulsa. So we have Tulsa, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, which is a major suburb of Tulsa,
Okay.
as well as kind of the west, a little bit in the western part of town, downtown Tulsa, that area. I haven't ventured too far north of there or outside of the Tulsa city limits, other than, like I said, Broken Arrow and Bixby, which is a little south of town. So,
And I know one of the questions that comes up a lot is, what is the time frame from when somebody reaches out to you to initiate therapy services?
okay.
How long does it usually take from the first contact till you're actually at the client's home doing the initial evaluation?
We try to get people in, especially our new clients, we try to get in as soon as possible. Honestly, that's been harder lately just because and right now I'm a sole practitioner, so I've been very busy the past several months. So we've had to actually have people wait in recent times 2 to 3 weeks for the eval.
Okay.
I'm actually actively hiring right now, so to alleviate that issue. But prior to being as slammed as we have been lately, we would get them in the same week or the following week
That's
as soon as they
great.
called us.
That's great. I mean, especially compared to some of the, 2 and 3 month waiting lists at the hospital. So
Absolutely.
I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're home with family. What is the best way for a client to reach out to you to either get more information or schedule an initial evaluation?
So honestly, you can reach out directly to us because you don't need a referral to initiate a plan of care with Medicare or Medicare Advantage. Oh, well, of course, Medicare Advantage, you may have some prior authorizations depending on the plan. But anyway, the short story is you can reach out directly to us. Our phone number is 918-251-7199. You can reach out to me by email. My email address is Dr. Michael, DrMichael at HylandPT.com. And of course, our website, HylandPT.com, has contact information and direct links to fill out forms to speak with us or to call directly from our site. So we've gotten most of our, we're busy mostly through word of mouth. We have marketing going that also gives us leads, but our word of mouth marketing has been huge in the past year or so.
I imagine like it's such a great service that you provide. So Dr. Hyland, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'll put your contact information down in the description below.
Well, I appreciate it, Tony. I appreciate you being so gracious to have this interview and for your time as well. So thanks again.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You as well. Appreciate it.